Hi everybody, Double B Billy Bojo here, being joined by Ashley, and here on the WGS YouTube channel, youtube.com/WrestleGamer, and it's time for, we had TNA Impact tonight, so me and Ash are going to tag team and give you guys a rundown and give you guys our thoughts on some of the matches and the happenings on TNA Impact tonight. Now, unfortunately, I kind of missed the beginning of Impact, the opening segments, and if there was an opening match as well. But Ashley did watch it, right, Ash?
Yeah, we started off with, a video package showing lockdown and everything happening there. Then we cut in, and AJ Styles came from the roof into a steel cage that was set up around the ring. Basically, his foot was in basically like a hangman's noose, so it wasn't that secure, so he was obviously confident nothing was going to go wrong. But then AJ basically says, I'm back in TNA, Bully Ray didn't obviously take me out for long enough, and now I want to face Bully Ray in the cage now. Bully Ray basically comes out and says, you know what, I think I might, and then, and his old chicken friend is like, just at the last minute, oh, perhaps not. No, it's like, you only get it in my time, and then, just as he's walking up the ramp, Daniels comes down, heads him off, beats on him, then throws him back into the ring, shuts the cage door behind him, and AJ starts beating up on Bully. During all this, Gunner comes out, and beats up on Daniels, and they fight into the back. Then the beatdown continues with AJ on Bully. Manages to grab a trash can that's on the cage wall and smashes that into Bully Ray. Trademark Ric Flair flop on the face down on the floor. Then gets a table set up and puts him on the table. AJ then goes to the top turnbuckle, and then he thinks, nah, this isn't high enough. So he goes to the very top of the cage, and he's just about to, I guess, do a frog splash or something like that, and Bully managed to roll off the table and get out the cage. And I guess he might have grabbed pants after, something like that. But it was a great way to actually start the opening with that promo. Then pretty much as soon as that all finished, Immortal's music hit, and Rob Terry and Murphy came out, and Terry in his Welsh accent said, listen here, boyo, we want to challenge Beer Money for the tag titles right now in this cage. Beer Money come out and say, well, what do the fans want? Do they want us to defend the titles? Of course, the fans basically shout yes at anything. If there was a dog screwing itself in with another dog in the middle of the ring, they probably cheer that, but, that's the fake hype that goes on with Impact. But they basically say, alright, and sorry about your damn luck. So after the break, we have Beer Money taking on Rob Terry and Murphy. Pretty good tag match in the cage, but Beer Money grab Terry at the end and get the DWI to retain the titles.
That makes me upset a little bit, because I always thoroughly enjoy watching Beer Money work in the ring, whether it be in-ring work or promo work in TNA, and tonight I just missed it, and, because I actually had to go to the store, guys, I have to buy groceries just like everybody else, and we had nothing here, and just didn't come back in time.
They also made reference during the match that Ric Flair was seriously injured by Rude when they put the Fujiwara armbar on, which finished the match at Lockdown, which is absolute rubbish because Flair's had a torn rotator cuff injury since the UK tour in January.
Yeah, basically crotch-grabbing hand.
Basically, he's now off for a long period of time to recover from that and get the surgery that he needs. Next up, we see a shot of them earlier today, apparently, and we see Karen and Jeff on a carriage ride, riding past a big crocodile for some reason. So clearly, they could only afford to have a carriage ride through Universal Studios. Basically, Jeff goes, I'm the king of the mountain, and despite my injured ribs, tonight you're going to be the queen of the mountain. Then just before the next commercial break, we see Hulk Hogan walking with a lead pipe in his hand. Is it actually a lead pipe, or is it just a plastic pipe that's painted silver?
Let me ask you this question. You know, if Karen Angle's going to be Queen of the Mountain, would her mountains be the Twin Peaks?
Oh God, Fire Walk With Me. No, Fire Walk With Me is a joke because that was the name of the movie. With the movie Twin Peaks was called Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me. So it's an in-joke to all you people out there who are actually nerds. Not many of you, but there you go. Yeah, we see Hulk Hogan again coming out with a lead pipe in his hand, which as we all know is a plastic pipe painted silver. He basically calls out RVD, and RVD comes straight out, despite the fact that this was recorded yesterday on 420. So it's amazing that he made it out, on both feet. Hogan then basically says, you're a few fries short of a Happy Meal. So, well done, McDonald's, you got some free sponsorship. And says, RVD, you're just a loser. You're getting nowhere unless you were on the side of Immortal. And then RVD goes, hang on, Hogan, when you were here when you started, you were a nice guy. You were you were friends and everybody loved you. And as soon as you turned heel and became obsessed with ratings, you just became a person that everybody wanted to see out of TNA. And then he says, I'm not going to join you because, one, I'm a stand-up guy, and I'm freaking amazing in the ring. That's a quote there. And then, even more shoot than he already has done in the previous stuff that he said by saying, and I quote, a wrestler can't make a living in the ring just doing a leg drop now, Hulk. Oh! Epic rap battles of history. Can Hogan reply? No. What he says is, RVD, you've always been the big fish in a little pond, or a little fish in a big pond, and that your career has been mediocre at best, and without me, you'll always be a mid-carder. Cue Sting basically going, yeah, screw that shit.
Yeah.
And basically...
Yeah.
Basically, he says, you say RVD's a mid-carder? Well, and you say he isn't a main eventer? Well, too bad. He's in the main event for Sacrifice taking on me. Because apparently, when he re-signed with TNA back in March, he had a clause in his contract that if he became TNA champion, he could choose his opponents. Now, this is, of course, from the network, which, of course, pisses off Hogan. It's like, who's the network, brother? I don't know. So then, in his power of actually being TNA and not being able to control what was happening with the pay-per-view, he says that RVD is going to be having a match with Abyss tonight. And Sting will be defending his TNA title against Cold-Blooded Matt Hardy.
Cold-Blooded Matt Hardy.
Yeah. And then, just before we go to the next break, we see Kurt looking for Karen and Jeff in the back. Oh, and security telling him about the horse and carriage. And then he walks away.
Oh my God.
Then we have Madison Rayne shoving Tara out the way, and basically it seems like Madison and Tara are not on good terms anymore.
Now this is what I didn't like about the promo, because following this segment where they had a Knockouts Tag Team title match with Sarita and Rosita from Mexican America, and of course whatever this guy's name is, Enchilada, whatever his name is, was on the microphone. Anakia, thank you. I prefer
Mexican to call him Anarchy, as we call him on the show now, I think.
Or Enchilada, as we should.
Yeah.
Anyway, but here's the thing. What I did not like about this promo is kind of made the Knockouts Tag Team title match kind of predictable. Because you knew that Tara and Madison Rayne weren't going to get along. They weren't going to get along. They were going to have communication problems, and it was evident in the match. And Sarita and Rosita ended up retaining the titles. But I could have probably done without the promo. They probably should have saved, in my opinion, they probably should have saved that segment until after their match. That would have made more sense to do it after the match. But instead, they did it preceding the match, which made the match predictable. And whenever wrestling becomes predictable, it becomes boring.
Boring!
Yeah. So, what we had next happen, Ash?
Well, just before the Knockouts Tag Team match, we had... Now, honestly, I didn't catch the actual sound of this when it came round the first time, but because I had to look it up for the results and everything, we had a little backstage segment with Kurt Angle, and Eric Young was there with the horses. And sorry,
he was feeding it. But hold on, I can tell you, he was feeding Eric Young. You can always depend on Eric Young for comic relief in TNA. He was feeding them horses baked beans. But what's even funnier is what Ash was about to talk about, is that he called the horses Mongo and Sid, two of the best horsemen ever. Think about that, guys. Think about that.
Never mind that shit. Here comes Mongo.
Well, speaking of shit, Kurt Angle kind of notices about the baked beans.
Oh no, yeah. Now I know where you're going.
Yeah, Kurt Angle notices the baked beans, y'all, and tells Eric Young that to get some buckets because they're gonna shit everywhere. And now keep that in mind when we get to the Queen of the Mountain ceremony. But we're not there yet, right, Ash?
I don't think so. No. Let me have a scroll. Quick scroll. Next up we did have that Queen of the Mountain segment.
Oh, we did.
Yes.
Again, Karen Jarrett, Twin Peaks.
You coming out in beautiful white and everything, and sorting everything out, and it's like, oh, it's beautiful. And then all of a sudden, as she's crowned and sitting on her throne being crowned, she gets up and it's like, oh look, I'm a queen. And then all of a sudden, stuff comes from the roof. Now we cannot confirm either it was horse shit, but it probably smelled like it.
Basically everybody in the front row going.
Taz called her Queen Poopy. And then basically she's covered in crap, and Jeff's like, "Oh, just get away from me." Yeah, that's a nice, loving relationship there. If all else fails, just clean yourself up with my jacket. I don't want anything to do with you because you're mucky. So then Angle basically grabs Jeff Jarrett, and the team when we were watching it, we thought, "Oh, is he going to angle slam him in the pile of crap?"
Yeah, yeah.
No,
I was one
he did the best thing. He did the next best thing. Because of Jarrett's injured ribs that got injured at Sunday's pay-per-view, he decided to angle slam him on the chair and basically hurt him even more. But overall, pretty damn good segment.
Would have been more of an
one
impact for the
segment might have
chair
saved the whole storyline, possibly. I don't know.
Actually, would you think that it would have made more of an impact to have the chair break under Jeff Jarrett?
Possibly, but by the looks of it, it was a sturdy chair just from like the hotel suite at Universal. I mean, if it got covered in shit, they're probably going to have the big dry cleaning bill. Aquavac it.
It's just so hilarious. In a sense, they're ripping off the DX stunt they did in 2006 with DX and the McMahons and the Spirit Squad.
Holy shiitake.
Holy shiitake mushroom.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that shiitake mushrooms? Because I heard they make you high. Or maybe that's just me.
No. That's just magic mushrooms.
Oh.
I don't know that from experience, but shiitake mushrooms you can have in food. And they're pretty nice from what I know. It's like they're sweet or something. I'm not that much of a cooking connoisseur, shall I say. I sound even more like Russell Brand. Yeah, apparently I'm now like Russell Brand.
Yeah, somebody on our Blog TV channel tonight, when I was playing Portal, kind of made that assessment towards Ashley that he sounds like Russell Brand.
So, in the next section, Hogan is basically getting Abyss ready and then notices Anderson, and basically Hogan approaches Anderson and says, why don't you use this pipe? Basically Anderson goes, hang on, I'm an asshole. I'm doing it for myself. I'm not doing it for anybody else. So, basically it's just teasing the whole, is he going to join them, isn't he? But because he's an asshole, he'll probably join everybody. Yeah, he'll just join everybody. Next up we had RVD take on Abyss. Now,
Great match. It was a great match between these two. Bit of a backstory.
it had an interesting opening.
Yeah, very interesting opening. I think it was right around the first or second move of the match. I don't know if it was. It had to have been botched because
Springboard back kick, wasn't it?
yeah, it was a botched springboard back kick. It landed right in the mouth. It knocked two of Abyss's front teeth right out of his mouth. His mouth was just bleeding profusely during this match. And there's a bit of a backstory here. We did find out on one of the news apps I have on my iPhone that Abyss will require dental surgery and will be out for an undetermined amount of time. Now, Ashley, you've been hearing that he's supposed to be at the tapings next week, right?
From what I've seen of, I hate to say the word, but spoilers, he, I believe, makes a run-in next week. No actual, competition in the ring, but he does make a run-in, and apparently he received a lot of praise from, the people in the back, both, management and the wrestlers, for actually working despite having such a nasty injury like losing his teeth.
Yeah, because like I said, if you guys go back and watch the match, notice the springboard back kick, and it hit him right in the mouth.
Yeah,
and
right at the
first
start
I
of the
thought
match
it was
as
RVD's
well.
backside.
The rest of that match he was fighting through with all the blood coming out of his mouth,
When I first saw it, I thought it was RVD's backside instead of the kick that hit him right in the face, right in the jaw. But it just happened so fast, you have to really, really look at it. And it was a springboard back kick that caught him right in the mouth. I think it was supposed to, I believe the placement of the boot was like right here where it should have been right here. I think that's probably what happened. Is it the placement of the boot was right here, which knocked the teeth out of Abyss's mouth instead of being right here on the jaw. I'm not sure exactly. I'm just guessing. That's my assessment on it. And it was again a lot of blood loss. Well, a lot of blood from the mouth of Abyss. He ended up getting the win in this match with a standing version of Black Hole Slam. Now I say that because normally when you see Abyss execute the Black Hole Slam, he's always got the guy running at him, and he catches the guy and he swings him around, then he slams.
Well, he did use the pipe, didn't he?
Yeah, the pipe was used. Hogan came out. He was in the corner for Abyss, and he had the referee distracted and somehow did a Statue of Liberty play or something like that and just shuttle passed it to Abyss without the referee seeing. And he used the pipe. Then after the pipe, he did the standing Black Hole Slam. Very quickly, back to the point I was making about the Black Hole Slams. Again, normally when I see Abyss doing it, he catches a guy running, and then he swings him through, then he slams him. With RVD, he just had him standing up there and just picked him up and then slammed him down. So that's why I call it a standing Black Hole Slam. There was a post-match beatdown. We see it a lot in TNA, but Crimson ran out and made the save. Crimson looked like he might have some new ink, like some new tattoos on his shoulder on his left side. Not positive, because I'm not a big connoisseur when it comes to the tattoo world. But basically, you have to, even if you hold a gun to my head, I'll never get a tattoo. Anyway, he comes out and makes a save, so that was good. And then next we had a face-off between Matt Morgan and Steiner. Now, Matt Morgan apparently going to be starting a feud with these two. And Morgan's going to be the face, and Steiner's going to be the heel. Morgan tried to show respect to Steiner. Steiner, kicked him in the balls and beat his ass and put him in the Steiner recliner. Basically, both men were jockeying for the #1 contendership, and well, Steiner came out on top on this one. I'm really interested, Ashley, to see where they go with Steiner and Morgan,
and whether it actually becomes him being a heel, or which one becomes a heel.
I would think it would have to be Steiner,
because they're both faces. And
I think it would have to be Steiner because Morgan was doing the typical babyface thing. He had his hand out. He was trying to show respect.
I noticed Steiner said he's the genetic freak and Morgan is beneath him, just like Morgan's girlfriend was under him last night.
Well, that's
so I've got a feeling Steiner's the heel by saying something like that.
Yeah. And for once, Scott Steiner did not murder the English language in this promo. So I'm thank God for that. Then
next thing we murdered some part of our anatomy as Miss Tessmacher came back.
Yeah. Whenever I see Miss Tessmacher, I go 2 thumbs way up.
Yeah.
She and Karen Jarrett could have a boob competition and see who's got the bigger boobs.
Yeah, basically she's now going for the Knockouts title. She isn't, you know, a secretary anymore. She's actually a wrestler.
She got trained. She said she got trained for 4 months. I'd like to know who trained her. Interesting question, huh, guys?
And she, yeah, the one thing she has to say to the bitches at TNA is Miss Tessmacher is back. Don't worry, you'll see more of the bitches next week. Oh God, then we have the Velvet Sky.
Oh Lord. Now I've said it for weeks.
Drug, voodoo, freaky shit, whatever.
I have said it for weeks on WGS Radio, and I've said it so far here on WGS YouTube channel. When is this stuff gonna end? Because it's just too way over the top. It's just too out there. For one, having Winter drugging Angelina Love to make Angelina her slave. I don't know what kind of drug could do that, but anyway, Angelina was her slave or something. It was something that was in the drink of Angelina Love. Let's just say that. It could be a drug. It could be some sort of magic potion that Winter did, or maybe it could be Winter peeing in I retract my last statement. I don't want to gross you guys out. Okay? I'm going to retract that last statement. Erase that from your minds. Okay? But anyway, they're having Angelina turn on Velvet Sky, and she was attacked in the segment. Again, it's just too way over the top. Too out there. Maybe the voodoo thing would have been better for the Winter gimmick, because you know she was always appearing in, when she first came into TNA, she was appearing in the mirror and stuff like that, and
yeah.
But you know, the drugging thing, and then just having her in a trance, and then attacking Velvet Sky.
A bit too far.
Yeah, it's a bit out there, guys. I don't know what you guys
Winter
think.
apparently says that the next week they'll clean the rest of this up. From what I've seen of next week, it gets even more complicated because we have too many storylines merging into different storylines.
Oh yes.
This, you know, the Knockouts division is starting to become like the movie Inception. Literally, it's like what is actually happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, finally we
Wait,
have
hold
the
on.
main
I got
event.
a better analogy.
Okay.
The Knockouts division is like Alan Wake.
3 words. What the
fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, let's get to the main event. With TNA World Heavyweight title on the line with the Icon Sting against Cold Blood Matt Hardy.
Matt
So basically
Hardy
it's a question of who has the best nickname?
Cold-blooded Matt Hardy or the Icon Sting? I go with the Icon Sting. Cold-blooded, I would have to see more of the gimmick and how he handles it, Matt Hardy. But as far as match-wise goes, Matt Hardy actually held up pretty well in his match with Sting. There were a couple of points, I believe, like, before the match started, Immortal tried to get the jump on Sting before he came out, and then Fortune came out, and they pretty much whooped ass, as blatantly and bluntly as I can put it, and everybody went to the back. And as Sting was going on the attack on Matt Hardy, he had Gunner, the TNA television champion, with a lead pipe or a plastic pipe.
Yeah, but the match hadn't started.
Yeah, just before the match started, by the way, guys. Yeah. And he had
no DQ. No DQ.
So he had basically had the lead pipe, a.k.a. the plastic pipe, painted silver. And if I'm breaking the news to anybody, too fucking bad. Anyway.
Hey, people thought Janice was real. Good God.
Anyway, Gunner went after the leg of Sting, and that was like the precipice of the match. You know, the focus of the match for Matt Hardy was to go after the leg of Sting. And like I said, Sting, for his age, he's still handling himself really well in the ring. He's still in very good shape for his age. Because Sting's not young, guys. Sting's well into his 40s, well into his, almost into his 50s, if I'm not
I think he's 51, I believe.
Yeah, Sting is like 51, guys. And he's still in good shape. And he's still handled himself really well in this match. For Matt Hardy, on Matt Hardy's end, I thought it was a good outing from Matt Hardy. I noticed no botches. He still handled himself really, really good. And the ending was Sting retaining using the Scorpion Death Drop. But I'll give it both to Sting and Matt Hardy. If I have to pick a match of the night for TNA Impact, it's got to be Sting and Matt Hardy. Abyss and RVD would come in at a close second. You know, but Sting and Matt Hardy, again, I think Matt Hardy took it to another level tonight. He handled it himself really well. Heel-wise, I thought it was a good idea to have him come out with Jeff Hardy's title belt to probably, you know, extenuate the fact of, you know, he blames Sting for what happened to Jeff Hardy in TNA. So I thought that was a good move to actually have him come out with the Jeff Hardy belt. That really put, you know, giving him incentive, giving him like a fire to get into the ring and get at Sting. You know, Ash, if you had to pick a match of the night, what would it be?
Overall, I'd have to say the tag match was pretty good, but also the main event was good with Sting and Hardy. I mean, we haven't even got to the afterwards with Anderson.
Yes, Anderson decides to come out and
Mike check Sting and Hardy, and then basically go, you know, I might not be #1 contender for your title this time, but, you know, I'm still here. Then we have Karen screaming, and still covered in crap with Jeff,
and Jeff Jarrett tumbling over in pain.
Jeff tries to shut her up, and Karen says, "This is bullshit." Actually, Karen, it was horse shit, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Then Hogan says, you know, Hogan's sick of the network and he wants to find out what's going on with who this network is. Then Anderson says that if Sting and Hardy's heads were on fire, he wouldn't piss on them to put them out.
Yeah.
And then to finish off, Sting is just pissed off at everybody and has revenge on his mind.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been it for our TNA Impact rundown, results and reactions video. For Ashley, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux here on the WGS YouTube channel. Thank you very much.
And now we eat cake.